I went ahead and painted these cabinets yesterday off camera. I didn't think that that would be the most riveting video to watch. But hey, if you've never seen a guy paint before, it went something like this. If this isn't your first rodeo with me, I think I'm mixing metaphors there, but you may have seen me do this before. This is my shelf pin jig. I got this from Craig. I just love this thing. You know, there's a lot of different ways you can drill these holes, but I think this one works out great because they're all perfectly aligned, and then it comes with this drill bit that has a stop collar here so that you can just drill it through like that, and it'll be just the right depth for the shelf pins. When you're buying shelf pins, there are two different sizes. There may be more, but these are the two that I know about. There's the ones that have the 1/4 inch post on them, and then there's ones that have a 5mm post, and they're real similar, but they're not compatible with each other. They're off just enough. So if you are in the US, you're probably gonna want the 1/4 inch ones, you know, for obvious reasons. And if you use those 5mm pins in there, they're just gonna fit really loosely. I like to get this kind that has a little shelf that they sit on and a post rather than these little ones that kind of look like a blade. The really nice ones are these that have the little shelf for the shelf to sit on, and then they've got a hole in there too, so you can put a screw in there if you want to make sure that the shelf doesn't come out. So obviously I don't want to start this all the way at the bottom because you're not going to put a shelf there. So I'm going to start it at about this hole and work my way up. Now I just need to move it up a little bit, and it's got this little set pin here that I can put this up here, and I'll just set that pin in like that. Remember when I told you that the gyms were opening on Monday? Well, not so fast. The county where I live backtracked and said, nah, I don't think so. So that was kind of frustrating. I was really looking forward to getting back into the gym, and now it's indefinitely closed until who knows when, probably at least until August, I'm gonna guess. And same with the restaurants. The restaurants are open now with outdoor seating only, but we did go and eat out last night, and it was pretty nice. It was the first time since, you know, early March that we ate out. Kind of felt human again almost. So the lockdown continues. I kind of get the sense that we're all feeling just pandemic fatigue right now. What are you gonna do? I know, build stuff. Just let your troubles melt away with woodworking. Oh, also, I had a couple of common questions on that last video I wanted to answer. Oh, it was about my plywood carrier and that styrofoam that I use to cut plywood. I just keep this up here in this little loft area. And you can pick this up at a hardware store or a home center, and this is just building insulation. This is like, I don't know, an inch thick or 1.5 inch thick, I'm not really sure. You can get it in different thicknesses, and I think it works out great. I've had this thing for at least a couple of years now, and I've gotten lots and lots of cuts on. I'm sure I'll get a few more years out of this. You know, you just set it to where the depth of your saw blade is just slightly deeper than the thickness of the wood, and it just barely cuts into there, and it's just so much easier using this than other methods I've tried, using sawhorses or whatever. This way, the board is completely supported through the entire cut. And this is my plywood lifting cleat. It's just a piece of plywood with a board that I glued and screwed onto it. The board has like a little cleat on here. So then the plywood could just drop down in there and you just carry it away much easier. I guess the best part about this is, while it helps carrying it, I don't have a problem carrying a plywood this way. It's really the setting down part that is always the challenge when you're just grabbing both sides. This way, it makes it much easier, and it's easier when I take it into the garage that I'm not having to duck down like this while I'm carrying it. If you want to make your own, I've got a measured drawing of this you can download. There's a link in the description. Also, I think it's a good idea to always paint the cabinets first before you drill shelf pin holes, because that paint will just fill up those holes. Well, not completely, but it'll kind of clog them to where it's hard to get those pins in. I'm using 1/4" plywood for the back. Adding a back to these is just gonna give the cabinets a lot more stability. Plus, I can mount it to the back wall of the closet. It's gonna be a lot easier to paint these now before I attach them. Hey, while I'm doing this, I'll give you an Antonio update. So Antonio just ordered the tools that I recommended he get in that last video. So presumably he'll be getting those this week. I think I'll be able to start designing that shoe shine box this week too. Oh, remember I told you about his chicken coop? I wanted to show that to you.
This is my chicken coop. So built this with my son, and we've only got 5 chickens, so it's not anything crazy. So the actual chicken run can be separated from the house. The house is on wheels, and the chicken run itself isn't that heavy. I think we did a pretty good job. It's pretty sturdy. This thing is not going to get knocked down. And yeah, the chickens seem happy. Isn't that the most important part? We got to paint it. I got to put some roof shingles on the top and everything. So it's still a work in progress. Yeah.
70% of that was done by his son. I guess his son took wood shop in high school. That's pretty cool. You know what I have here? This is a leftover painted shelf from the other closet organizer. Only thing I had to do was to cut the width down, but the depth is exactly the same. You know, another thing I could have done on these rather than painting all this plywood is I could have just used melamine, you know, 3/4" melamine boards. I've used that in the past and it works out well. You gotta be careful with the top that it doesn't chip. I've got that on my router table. I used it for the first closet organizer I made. I'm not really sure why I didn't use it on these two. It's kind of, I mean, it's heavy, that's one thing. It's kind of a pain to work with, but definitely has that nice, smooth finish. But I don't mind painting. What else I gotta do? It's not like I can go to the gym. The only thing is I only had enough scrap plywood to make 5 of the shelves. So there could be 3 on one half and then 2 on the other half. I don't know, it'll work out. I wanted to hit the side of this cabinet too. Just this one side is gonna be visible. I don't even need to go all the way to the bottom because that's where the other cabinet is gonna meet up. This is one of those OCD checker moments. I'm not gonna paint that. And I left the sticker on that plywood down there. I don't know if you can see that. Just gonna tack this back in place with some brad nails. You like how I started out this video and I was all like, oh man, watching a guy paint, that's gonna be like the most boring thing ever. And then like the whole second half of this video is just a guy painting. Yep, this is what passes for content on YouTube these days. Wait, I think I hear something. Listen. You know what that is? That's the sound of thousands of people clicking away. Wait, that probably happened about 5 minutes ago. Those people are all watching like resin table videos now. Do you know why I'm using these really long brads? That's all I had. We don't pound enough nails as woodworkers. That's kind of funny because I think that's what most people think of when they think of woodworking, is that we pound a lot of nails. And really there's something very satisfying about it. Like sometimes they bend a little bit, you just kind of straighten them out. Once in a while you get those ones that you can just hit in like 3 pounds and you're like, whoo. All right, there's half a closet organizer right there. I know what I can do. Here, let's improve this video a little bit. Let's do some sort of an artsy shot. Okay, you know what I'll do? So I'm gonna bring this cabinet up to here. Okay, oh wow, that is really bright white. Let's turn it around this way. That, yeah, okay. Now, we're just like barely seeing onto that over there. Oh, I know, I'll look up and over this. There. Oh, the other thing that'll make this really artsy. Oh, I forgot, 2 other things. Black and white and slow motion. Oh, I need a close-up of pounding the nails. I'm gonna have to switch lenses though. Okay, so I'm gonna use the corner right here. I put a nail there so I have something to focus on. So tomorrow I can take this up and put it into the closet, make sure that it fits correctly. Then I can get started making that base that it sits on. And once it's all in there, that's when I'll cut out the face frame to size. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you next time.